Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel, Craving Crochet. Hi, thanks so much for coming back to Craving Crochet. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how I made this lovely carpet with the Apache tier stitch. I cannot believe how easy this was and how beautiful it is. So I hope you try it out. Let me show you what it looks like. Look at this carpet that I made. I can't believe it. It's just, let me see if I can show you. It's pretty long. And then because of the nature of the stitch, you have to leave tails at the end. I just made it into fringes, which is perfect for a carpet. I just love it. For a little rug carpet, whatever you want to call it. And the yarn that I used, it's so heavy and it kind of stretches, I guess, as you go, that there's no worrying about it slipping or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. I know I've tried doing other rugs with using different types of yarn and it was slippery. So this is totally not slippery and it's beautiful. Look at this pattern. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so easy. You have to try it. Now, you don't have to make a rug. You can make a blanket. You can make placemats. There's so many possibilities with the stitch. It's absolutely lovely. Now, I'm trying to remember the channel. Tina's Crochet. She's a lady from Iceland. This is where I found out about it. Actually, I found out from another YouTuber about this stitch, a friend of mine actually, Raven. Her name is Diana, and she shared this with some friends, and I thought, oh, I got to try that when I get a chance. And I had this yarn for years, and it was all in this big bags, which I'll put a picture of it here because I have shown it before. But if you look at the tutorial, this is what I have left of those two balls. But I still have a lot of that yarn left. Lots. So that's the purple and that's the black. These are the colors I had. So I think it's beautiful. And you've got to try it. You will not believe how easy it is and how addicting. It's a very addicting stitch. I love it. So it measures about 18 inches. 18 inches in, I guess, height. And then the width is about 48 inches. So it's pretty wide. Yeah, and I really love it. I really, really love it. So you have to try it out. I'll leave the original tutorial where I found this stitch. She just demonstrates how to do the stitch. I demonstrate how to make a little rug with it. Now you don't have to make it as big. You can go a little bit smaller, but it's up to you. And thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, subscribe. I would love it if you would join our YouTube family. Like the video, share the video, and try out the tutorial and let me know how your projects turned out. Leave a picture of your project in my Facebook group, Craving Crochet. I'll leave a link below. And I have lots of free patterns on that group as well. So in the files section. So anyways, thank you so much, and on with the tutorial. Hi everyone. Okay, so this is my tutorial. I'm just going to show you a little swatch that I made of this rug tutorial that I'm going to be doing. So I have these yarns that were gifted to me. This is purple and this is black. So otherwise I would have chosen different colors, but I thought this would make a really, really nice rug for anywhere in your house, in my house. It looks like a, what do you call it? Like that thick yarn, which is like you make baskets with it and things like that. So it's a very thick yarn. I have no idea what the poundage is. I have more. Like, I'll show you a clip of how it looked when I got it. It was just in these 2 bags. My sister-in-law picked it up at a liquidator, and so she gave it to me, and it looks like an acrylic, like it's some type of an acrylic. It's very stretchy. So it's like a t-shirt yarn. That's the word I was looking for. So it's very stretchy, and I finally got around to balling it up. I have more than these, so I'm sorry I can't tell you how much yarn you need, because I haven't a clue how much this is. This one's kind of heavy, but I've never tried to weigh them or anything. I don't have a kitchen scale, so I'm sorry I can't tell you how much you need if you want to try and make this, but this is what it looks like. I think it's kind of pretty. It will make a really nice house rug. And I did another swatch with some different colors. Isn't that beautiful? So this is a mosaic crochet. I actually found this, I think, on, I think it's Tina something. I can leave the link below to her channel. And so what you do is you work in rows, and then you cut the yarn, and then you start the next row, cut the yarn. So I thought that would make a perfect carpet with a fringe on each side. So let's get started with this tutorial. This is just a little swatch that I did just to see if I liked it, if I wanted to do it, and I thought, sure, I got to use this yarn up, I got to do something with it. So besides making a basket, I thought, let me make a nice little rug. Maybe I can put it in my kitchen or anywhere in my house. And it's just, you can just throw it in the washing machine and wash it, and just use it as a household decorative piece. So let's get started with the tutorial. I'll show you the size and everything that I'm going to be making. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so in order to start this project, you need to make chains that are a multiple of 6. So I've decided I'm going to do 108 chains, which is a multiple of 6. That 6 goes into 108 18 times. So I'm going to end up having the pattern across 18 times. This one here was, the swatch was only 3 times. So that's where you get the pattern 3 times in each row. If that makes sense. It will make sense as you see me going through putting the pattern together, doing the stitch pattern together. So it's going to be for, I'm not sure the size yet. I have to make the chain and measure it, and then I will be back. So let's start by making a slip knot. Once I do the 108 plus 3, you got to do 108. Actually, let me make that a little bit longer. You have to make 108, which is a multiple of 6, plus 3 chains. So altogether, we are going to make 111 chains, and I'm using a 10 millimeter hook to work on this project. So I'm going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 chains, but we have to make another 100 because we've got to do 111 in total. So if you're following along with me and you want to do this with me, go ahead and make 111 chains, which I'm not going to all do on camera. So I'm going to finish off my remaining 100 chains, and then I'll be back. I'll measure it to give you an idea of the size. Okay, so I'm back. I've completed my 111 chains, and I measured it, and it came to about a little bit over 40 inches in width. So I don't have space on this table to show you, so I measured it off camera. So that is the foundation chain row, I guess. And then so now we're going to start with row 1, and we're simply going to make single crochets all the way across each chain. You're going to skip the first two, you're going to skip the first chain. You don't count the one on the hook. The first one after the hook, that's the first one, and then you go into the second one. And you simply make single crochets by inserting your hook, pulling up a loop, and then pulling through both loops. So that's one, go into the next, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through two. That's two, go into the next, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over and pull through two. That's the next, go into the next one, insert your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through two, and go into the next one, do the same. So just carry on making single crochets all the way along this foundation chain that we just did, and I will meet you back once I am done. And when you finish, if you're following this pattern exactly the way I'm doing it, you should have 110 single crochets because we skipped the first stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you back at the end of this first row. All right, so I've completed making single crochets along the first, so this is my first row along the foundation. So I counted them all to make sure I didn't miss anything. So it's 110 single crochets. Okay, so when you get to the end of the row, just yarn over and make a chain, and maybe we'll leave about that much of excess, and then we'll cut it, and you pull your yarn through, and that's the first row completed. So now we are going to work in rows. So every time you finish a row, you're going to cut it to approximately this length. Try and make them similar in size. And so now we're going to move across to the very beginning of this row, and we're going to go right into this chain right here. And we're going to grab the black or your second color. You don't have to use these colors. More than likely you will not have these colors. You will not have this yarn. You're gonna have to investigate. Maybe I'll see what I can find online to see if there's something similar that I could recommend. So we're gonna start by making, it's called a border stitch. So we're gonna do one on one end, one on the other, the very end when we get there. So what you do is you're just gonna yarn over and pull up a loop to get that yarn on there and make one chain, and then you're going to go back in and make a single crochet. So that's called, what Tina calls it, the border stitch. Okay, so now what we have to do from here on in is, well, this is the second row, so we're going to work through the back loops. So you're going through the back loop of that first single crochet and make a single crochet through the back loop only, just like this. And then you continue the next one. So you're always working through the back loops from here on in pretty much. Back loop, single crochet, back loop, single crochet, all the way across. And then when you get to, this is what it looks like. When we get to the end, we're going to make another border stitch at the end of the row. It's really easy. This is a really nice, simple pattern. It's mosaic crochet. This particular stitch is called the Apache tears. Not tears as in crying, but tears as in levels. Because I was looking for the name of it, and some people have put in the search Apache tears, like tears that you cry, tears that come out of your eyes, but tears like levels, because what it's going to do is you're going to be working, which I'll show you. You see you're going down a level, so that's a tear. That's what they mean by the tears, not crying tears. So just carry on doing this. And you should have, if I'm doing this correctly, you should have, when we finish, if you're following this, we should have 108 single crochets. And then the first one that we started was the border stitch, which makes 109. And then you get to the end when you finish doing all those single crochets, and we're going to do it in the last one. We're going to make that other border stitch which was a single crochet and a chain one, but I'll show you. So just carry on making your single crochets till you get almost to the end, to the second last. When we get to the very last, then I'll show you how to do that border stitch one more time, and I will be back to show you what that's going to look like. I'll be right back. Meet you back. Okay, so I've come to the end of the second row, working through the back loops only, and I have one stitch left to work in. So now we're not going to work through the back loop, we're going to work through both loops, just like we did on the very first, and make a single crochet in that space, just like so. And then we're going to, again, cut. So I'll try and make it equal to that one, to the previous one. Cut your yarn and then finish it off by making a chain, just like so, and then pulling it nice and tight so that we don't accidentally work in it moving forward. So that's the first two rows. Okay, so that's nothing fancy yet, but now the fancy work is going to begin. So we're going to grab the purple yarn again. So you just have to work with two colors, whatever colors you have, whatever colors you like. And so we're going to start in the very first. This was the, I guess the first stitch that we made. But you're going to go in where you see the first two loops, right there, and insert your hook. Oops. And you can see that we did the border stitch in there, right? And then we started working through the back loops, because you can see that little ridge along here. Here you don't see it. So that's how you know that you're in the right spot. And this is a really easy pattern. It's not complicated at all. Just once you get past the beginning stages, you're gonna love it. So it's really simple. So you make a chain, and then you go back into that one more time and make a single crochet, just like so. Okay, so that's your border stitch again. It's supposed to make the edges nice and clean and neat. So I'm just following what Tina said on her channel. So I'm just making a bigger version of what she did. And I'm actually making an item with it where she's making a swatch to show you the stitch. So now we are going to start this beautiful pattern. So to begin, you have to start by making a double crochet. So you yarn over, and then you're going to insert your hook here, right here. So you're always going to remember that when you make your stitches or your double crochets, you're always going to go back into a purple. So you're doing a purple, you're going to go back into a purple. So that's the name of it. That's the tier that comes in, right? So you go into that from the bottom to the top. Just simply insert your hook in. Just trying to show you. So, okay. And then you yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up, go through two loops, yarn over, go through the last two loops. And that is your first tier, Apache tier. So now, all we have to do is, we're going to go into the next stitch, but we're not going to work down here. We'll only work down here when we do the double crochets. So now, you're going to make sure you don't go into the back where you worked here, but you're going to go into the next one. It's right beside the hook, and you go in the back loop, and you make a single crochet, but you're going to do 5 of them. So that was 1, and then the second one is 2, going through, always through the back loop. The third one, 3, the fourth one, 4, and the 5th one, 5. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a double crochet again at the tier. So all you do is you yarn over, and instead of going into the next stitch, you're just going to go one level below. So you're just going to kind of skip that one, but just move along where that is, and then find that tier right below it. So you go into the next tier below, and you make a double crochet, just like so. Just like so. You see? Isn't that pretty? It's so easy. And then we're going to go into the next, so you don't work here, but here. And you'll get, once you get started, you will get your rhythm, and it's really, really easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get more yarn. 4 and 5. Okay, so now we're going to make, again, you're going to make a double crochet once again. So instead of working in there, you just move down to where it is underneath it, just underneath it. So you just go into that tier. And once you get going with this, you're going to be amazed at how easy and how beautiful it is. It's really simple and really pretty. I love it. So just carry on now doing this, making sure you don't go to the back of this, but right beside it, again, make 5 single crochets through the back loop. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now we're not going to work in there, but you're going to go in the tier right below it. So yarn over and insert your hook in that same color stitch tier and make your double crochet. So just carry on doing this, and I'll meet you back when we're near the end. So I'll show you what happens when we get near to the end. Meet you back. All right, so my camera died as I was trying to explain this. Okay, so we did the border stitch, a double crochet, 5 single crochets in the back loops. Now we have to repeat this pattern. So this is the pattern. It's a double crochet, 5 single crochets. That's 6 stitches. That's why we're working with multiples of 6. So the next stitch is going to be a double crochet again. So we have to repeat it, and we have to go into that tier underneath the next stitch. If you're not sure, like if you're looking at the stitches and you're not sure exactly where to put it in to do your double crochet, what I would do is, you see here where we have the single crochets that we've done, just follow it to see the tier below and just count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So the next spot would be right here, 6, and you can see it's right below where we made the single crochet above it. So you're not going to work into that one. Sorry, you're not going to work into this, but you're going to work into this. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me just repeat it again. So that's the double crochet, and then the next tier where we worked. The next tier where the single crochet is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is where you're going to work your next double crochet in this tier. Hopefully that makes sense, because it depends on the yarn that you're using. It might be harder to see if you're using like a lighter acrylic yarn. So we're making the double crochet in there. If you're using a lighter acrylic yarn, it's a little bit easier. It just depends, but it's not hard. It's pretty simple. So again, just follow these tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do it in the 6th tier. And then we're going to continue making single crochets in the next 5. 1. That's why you got to work through the back loops. That's how you make the tier shape that sticks out. So that was 1. The next one is 2. The next one is 3. The next one is 4. And the next one is 5. So the next thing we have to do is make a double crochet. So you're going to work not in this stitch but in the tier below. If you just want to make sure which tier, again, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's this one. So yarn over and insert your hook from bottom to top and make your double crochet. I hope that makes sense and it's clear to you. But once you get going, you'll see, because you'll see where the other ones are, and then it'll make so much sense and you can just do it much quicker. It's just starting it from scratch, right? That you are a little bit, just have to be careful when you're first starting it. So again, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 single crochets, and then you're going to make your, oops, I didn't finish that single crochet, and then you're going to make your double again. So instead of going into the stitch, you go to the tier below it. So I'm just going to double check again by going over here where that first single crochet was, and going down to where the tier is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's this one. So you yarn over and you go into that 6th tier. And this is the pattern. So there we go. We've begun the Apache Tiers pattern for this rug. So just carry on doing what we've been doing. And I will meet you back when we're near the end of the row, because we have to make another border stitch at the end. And so I'll meet you back when I'm close to the end of the row. Okay, I'll meet you back. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of the row. I did my last single double crochet, so now we have to make 5 single crochets in the next 5. We're almost at the end of the row. So go to the next stitch, go through the back loop, make a single crochet. That's 1. Go to the next one. 2, go to the next one. 3, go to the next one. 4, and go to the next one. 5. So that completes this row. There should be 18. Well, we're not finished the row yet. We have to do one more thing. There should be 18 pattern stitches all the way along here. If you're doing the exact number of chains that I started with, which was 111. So now we have to just do that border stitch in the very last, just how we did in the beginning. So you should have 1 stitch left. So you go in, make a single crochet under both loops this time, and then you're going to cut the yarn. Try and make it close to the same length, and then just make a chain 1 and pull it through and tighten it. So we don't work in there because we won't be able to get in there because it's all tightened up. So that's it. So that is row 3. So now we're going to start again with the black. So we're going to start at the very beginning here again. Grab your black yarn, leave a little bit of a tail, and go into that very first where you see the 2 V's. Go right in underneath both and make a chain. Well, pull through first, pull through like that, tighten it up, and then make a chain, and then go back underneath that same spot and make a single crochet underneath both, so which is right above where we did the double in the previous row. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start staggering these double crochets. So now we have to make a double crochet in the next stitch, so it's right beside this one from the previous row. So you're just going to find, so when you're working with the black, always find the black one, right? So you're going to skip this first stitch, follow down, and put your yarn over first of all, because we're making a double crochet. And then you find that stitch, go underneath. It's hard to see with the black, I'm sorry, but this is all I have, so. And then make your double crochet. So now you'll be able to tell exactly where to put it, because it's always going to stagger. They're always going to stagger each other. I'll show you this one again. See, this is where we did the first one. Then the second row, see, it's right just staggered beside it. The next one, it just staggers all the way along. So it makes that pretty pattern. So now we just continue with the 5 doubles or 5 singles at through the back loops only of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now, okay, so now we are right above the last double crochet we did from the previous. So again, it's staggered, so you go into the next stitch, and you don't work in that stitch, but you work in that tier from below, and make your double crochet once again. So it gets a little bit easier as you go through the pattern, because then you'll understand exactly where to place. You're always staggering it, right? So I'll do another repetition. So go into the next 5 again, make 1 double crochet through the back loop only, 1, the second stitch, 2, the third stitch, 3, the fourth stitch, 4, the fifth stitch. See, you're where the double crochet is. You do it right above. I need a little bit more yarn here, it's tight. And then again we're going to stagger. So you're going to yarn over, and hopefully I'm on camera here, and go into that black. Instead of working in here, you're going to go right below where that tier is that we made, that by making single crochets through the back loops. That's what creates that little tier. Hopefully this makes sense. And that's it. So we just carry on doing this. So we're going to go into the next stitch. 1, working through the back loop. 2, another single crochet, third stitch, through back loop, 3, fourth single crochet through back loop, and then we're again at that double crochet, which we're going to work our last and 5th single crochet, and then we're going to make the double crochet. Instead of going into the next stitch, you go into that tier, which is right there. Make your double. And just carry on doing this, and it's very simple. Once you get it going, it's really a piece of cake. And so we're going to carry on doing this, and then when you're going to get to the end, you're going to end up doing instead of doing the, like here we did a double and then 5, you're going to end up doing a double and then 4, and then working that border stitch, and then the next row will be 3 and then 2 and then 1, and it's going to start with the double. But I'll show you, I'll walk you through all of that so you don't get confused, and you'll understand how to work this pattern. So carry on doing this, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so we're almost at the end of row 4, and I just want to show you how to end it. So remember the last, so I did my last single or double crochet. So remember the last time we did 5, and then we did the border stitch. So now we're going to do 4. So each time we do it, it's going to be less and less. So make a single crochet in the next 4. So that's 1 through the back loop, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then we're at the very last stitch. Then we're going to make that border stitch, which is you go through both of the V, top and bottom, yarn over, make a single crochet, oops, and then you're going to cut your yarn about the same length as the others, more or less, and then you're going to make a chain and pull through and tighten it up. So that's the end of row 4. So now we're going to do row 5. So we go back to the very beginning. Now we're going to use the purple yarn, which is right here. And we do the same thing again. We're going to work a border stitch in that very first, but using the purple yarn. So see how we've got the double crochets here staggering. Let me just carry on, I'll show you, because it's pretty simple the more you do it, but it's really pretty. Let me show you the back. The back just looks like two different colors kind of striped, which it's nice. So if it flips over on the other side, you can use it both sides if you like, but this pattern is so pretty. Anyways, so let's do the border stitch here. So where was I here? We're using purple now. So about this much yarn. Go through that first stitch and hang your yarn over, pull through, make a chain, and then go back through those top and bottom. Not top and bottom, you know, the complete V stitch, or the complete V. We're not going through the back loops, we're going through both front and back. That's what I meant by that. Okay. All right, so now, where are we here? So now we're going to, okay, so we did the border stitch, and then we go into the next stitch, work through the back loop, and make a single crochet. Then we're going to go to the next one, and we're going to make the double crochet, but we're not going to do it there. We're going to do it right in that staggered stitch beside the other double crochet from the previous row. So you just, whoops, go into that back, or that tier, and make your double crochet, and then you're going to continue in the pattern once again. So you're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles through the back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're on top of the double crochet, and then see, you're right on top of the double, and then you're going to make another double in the tier below. So beside that double, you don't go into the next stitch, you go down to the tier, and you insert your hook through that tier, and you make your double crochet. And just carry on in the pattern once again. See how it's all staggered, the stitches, the double crochets? So just carry on doing this the same way we've been doing it. 5, and then when we get here, that'll be the last of the 5, and then you're going to do another double, and just keep going. I can do one more on camera for you. And then when we get here to this point, we're going to make the double here, and then you're going to have 1, 2, 3. Right? You see now how it's decreasing on that side, but I'll keep going through it, one complete pattern So hopefully you'll understand it. And it's not hard. It's really, really easy actually. And the result is just lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me go. I just like to count back because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. 1, 2, 3. Always working through the back loops. Single crochet. 4. And one more right above that double crochet from the previous. Yarn over, and then you're going to make your double into that tier right here below. Just like so. So just carry on this pattern, and I'll meet you near the end of the row to show you how to end the row. Alright, so I'm almost at the end of this row again. I've done my last double crochet, so now we're going to work into the next 3 through the back loops, making single crochets. So that's 1 single crochet through the back loop, 2 single crochets through the back loop, 3 single crochet through the back loop, and now we're going to do that border stitch because we're at the very last, going through both back and front loop. Make a single crochet like so, and then there's so much yarn everywhere. Cut your yarn, try and make it even as you can, and then you make a chain, pull it through, make it nice and tight, and that's row 5, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's row 5. So we're going to do 5. I'm going to do 5 more rows on camera. I don't know how wide I'm going to go with this, but I will let you know. Once I reach the 10 rows, I'll measure it just to get an idea, and then I'll give you an idea of how much more we're going to do. So let's move the purple out of the way. Let's grab the black again. And now we're going to work with the black yarn. And we're going to make the border stitch. Just pull that in that first V underneath. Just grab some yarn, put this long, put it on top of your hook, pull through, chain 1, and then right. So I ran out of space again, so I was just in the middle of making my single crochet, so I just finished that off, and then we're going to continue. Just want to tighten that up. So now we're going to go to the next, working through the back loop, and again we're going to do 5 single crochets. 1, actually no, we're not going to do 5. We're going to do 1, 2, we're going to do 2. See, because right now we're on top of where we did the double from the previous row. So we're going to make another double crochet right, not in this stitch, but in this tier here, in the back through that tier. So you yarn over, you find that tier, which is right beside the double crochet from the previous row, and you go up and through. There's your double. And then you make 5 single crochets through the back loops again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and oh my gosh, 4 and 5. This yarn is a little bit finicky. So you're on top of that double crochet, so you got to make another double crochet for, tiered down. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope you understand this. I hope you're enjoying this tutorial, and I hope you try it because it is a fun and easy project. I can't wait to see the finished product. But there we go. See, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers so far. So again, work through the back loop, the next 5, once again making single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my goodness, and 5. So we're right on top of that double again. There we go. So now I'm just going to keep doing this. So I'm going to do a double 5 all the way along. And then when we get to here, we should have, so we're going to put the double here. So we should only have 2 to do there of the singles and then the border stitch. So just carry on doing this and I'll meet you when I get to the end again, and I'll show you how to end the row. So when I make the double crochet here, that's when I'll meet you back. All right, coming towards the end of row 6. Okay, so I just have to do one more double crochet. There's the double crochet from the previous, so I go down to the next tier, the black. Remember, you always work double crochets in the tier with the same color yarn. So make a double crochet. My yarn is all over the place. And then now we have to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, and then we do the border. So that's the border. So through the back loop make 1, through the back loop make 2 single crochet of the next 2 stitches. And now we're going to end this row by doing the border stitch that we've been doing. So go underneath both of the loops, front and back, make a double crochet or single crochet, and again we're going to cut the yarn. And then we are going to make a chain and pull it through and tighten it up. So there's like a little fringe, see, coming along. It's really cute for a rug, right? I thought, what am I going to do with all this yarn? So you can make a scarf with this, you could make placemats, you can make a blanket, beautiful blanket. There's a lot of things you can do with this in different colors. Like I said, this is the only color I had with this thick yarn. I have tons of it. And I got to use it up. So, but if you use like a light and a contrast, like a really nice contrast, look at that, how pretty that is. This is still nice. It's just that's the yarn that I'm stuck with, and I got to use it. I got to do something with it, and I thought I would share it with my YouTube family. So I'm going to carry on, and this will make a really nice rug in one of the rooms in my house. I only have one house. And so next, we're going to go back to the beginning again. So you're always working from right to left. We're going to use the purple. So let's grab the purple. I actually have a scarf with these 2 colors, and it is really nice, the purple and black. Where's the beginning of this? Okay. So again, about this long. We're going to go to that first, underneath that V, the very first one from the beginning of this row that we just did. So go in there with your hook, put your yarn on top of your hook, like about this long, and pull through, make a chain, go back in through, and make a single crochet. Okay, so now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 single crochets in the back loops of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're at that double crochet from the previous. So we have to make another double at that tier below the next stitch, or beside the double from the previous row. That's another way you can tell where you're working. So that's the beginning, and then we're going to start the pattern once again. So we did the double, and then we're going to make another 5 singles through the back loops of the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's see, the 5th one is always on top of the double crochet from the previous. That's how you know you got to make another double crochet. So then you go again to that purple tier right beside the double crochet from the previous. It's hard to see the black, I'm sorry. And make your double crochet in there, and then just continue. Again, 5 singles. You're going to reach here, make your double. Just going along, making that. I'll just do 5 more quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the 5th one is on top of that double from the previous. And so then I'm going to start again, making the double, 5, double, 5, double, 5. And then when we go down here, I believe you're only going to have, yeah, so you're going to do your double here, and then you're going to do 1 single through the back loop and the border stitch. So coming along, this is row 3, 4, 5, 6, row 7. So 3 more rows to go, and then I'm going to carry on doing this, and I'll let you know how wide I make it if you want to reproduce this too. Alrighty, we're almost at the end. So this is the double crochet from the previous row, the black below. So now we have to yarn over, go into that tier from the stitch below, either beside it or below that next stitch. There's lots of ways to figure out where you're going once the pattern gets going. So we make a double in that tier from the previous row, and then we're going to do a single in the next back loop, just like so. And now we're going to finish it off with the border stitch once again. So we go through the top and the bottom, or both sides, back and front, make a single crochet, and then we're going to cut the yarn once again. And I hope you're all getting the hang of it. I hope you're enjoying this. And then make a chain, pull through, tighten it. So that's the end of row 8. So 2 more rows to go, and then you're going to be on your own. No, I'm always here to help. You can always leave a comment if you're stuck on something. If you don't understand something, let me know. I always try to get back to everyone. So just put the yarn on your hook like so, and then you're going to go through that first V of the border stitch from the beginning that we did. Actually, I'm going to do it the opposite way. I'm going to put my hook through first. That's how I usually do it. And then grab some yarn. Make sure you leave a nice long tail. Pull it through, make a chain, go back underneath, and make your single crochet. Now we're going to work through the back loops again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 4. So go through the next 4. Just make sure I've got the right end of the yarn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And because we're at that double crochet, we have to make another double crochet going down to the tier, and make your double crochet there so that it's always staggered. You see, Always got to be staggered. So the beginning, it's not always 5, but the next one, then I'll have to show you what to do next. Anyways, so we're going to just continue now. We're going to do 5 again, that pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, working through the back loops only. And then see, we did the last one on top of that double from the previous. So now we're going to make another double in the tier below. So you're not working the single crochet, but you're working in that tier below, or just look at this double crochet from the previous row and find that tier and just go in there, which I've been doing. I find that a lot easier. And then if you worry, like I do, that you're going to work in the wrong stitch again, so I count from this back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know I have to work in there. And we're going to do 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're on top of that double from the previous row. So then you're going to make a double in the tier below this. Hopefully this makes sense. So just carry on doing this, and I will meet you at the end of row, I think we're at row 9 now, right? Yes, we're at row 9. Okay, I'll meet you back. Okay, I'm almost at the end of row 8, not row 9. I kept saying row 9 by mistake. So I've done my double and then my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles in the back loops. And so we have 1 stitch left here, and there's a double from the previous row. So we need to go down to the tier from the black row, from the bottom, from the previous 2 rows. So we're going to yarn over and make a double crochet going through that tier from the previous 2 rows. Make your double crochet, and then we're going to go and make a border stitch at the very last stitch, going through the top, the front and the back of the single crochet. So just insert your hook, make a single crochet, grab your scissors, cut your yarn, try to make it even with the other ones. We'll clean those up later. And then make a chain, pull it through, tighten it up. So that's the end of row 8, because this is row 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so see, we're at the very end. All right, so I'm going to begin row 9. So we're going to use the purple. So why did I do that? Okay, so put your hook through the top and bottom of the border stitch, and then leave about this much yarn so you have a little bit of a tail, and then pull up a loop and then make a chain, and then go back through and make a single crochet under both front and back loops to make that border stitch. So now we are going to make 5. 1. Oops. Start over. Go through the back loop of the next, make a single crochet. 1. Back loop of the next, make a single crochet. 2. Back loop of the next, make a single crochet. 3. And back loop of the next, make a single crochet. That's 4. Back loop of the next and make a single crochet. That is 5. Okay, so now we have to make the double crochet because we are staggering. So we yarn over, go through that purple tier from the previous 2 rows, make your double crochet. like so. And then we're going to continue in the pattern. Go through the next 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're almost at the end of row 9. So I did my last double crochet staggered with the previous one. And then I did my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets through the back loops, and now I'm at that border stitch, so I have to make another border stitch. So you go from both front and back loops and make your single crochet. Then you cut your yarn, and make a chain and pull it through and tighten it up. So that's the end of row 9, and this is looking so pretty. I like it. I hope I'm making sense to you all, and it's making sense and you're able to follow and create something beautiful. This is such a nice, beautiful pattern. I really love it. Love it. So now we're going to use the black. So let's get the purple out of the way. This purple is everywhere. Okay, get the scissors out of the way and grab the black yarn. And we're going to make the border stitch once again. So tighten that up. Go through front and back loops, so both under the V. Grab your yarn, leave about this much of a tail. Pull it through and chain 1, then go back through the front and back, that same stitch, and make a single crochet. All right, so now we're starting the pattern all over again. So, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to make the double crochet at the beginning of this row 10. So, oops, I'm in the wrong, totally wrong here. We're going to go to the tier. We're going to skip this stitch and go down to the tier. And we're going to make our double crochet in here. Just like this. Okay. And then we're going to do 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back through the back loops. And just start the pattern over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. And we're starting our pattern all over again. So now we go to the tier of the, you're not going to work in there, but you're going to work at the bottom of that tier and make your double crochet again. And just keep doing this. Isn't it a lovely pattern? I just absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. So I think we're just about at the end of the demonstration here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just do your 5 again. So just keep following this pattern over and over and over again until you get the width that you like for your project. And, whoa, I'll let you know how many rows I end up doing for this rug if you want to do one as well. And then you will be able to follow exactly how I've done it. And that's it for now. So I'll meet you back once I get the width that I like for my little rug. And then I'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, so I have finished this lovely rug, and I ended up doing, I believe I did about 47 rows. Let me just see here. I believe that's what it was, 47 rows. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. I don't know how I got 47. 45 rows I ended up doing. No, actually 48, because this is actually row 3. I think I did 40. I actually recounted and I did do 47 rows. Because when you look at the first double crochet that you make, that is row 3. So anyways, so now the only thing I have left to do is just to fix up these fringes here. So this is the beauty of doing this stitch, this Apache Tears. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 3 strands and then just make a knot as if I'm making like a tassel, and then just knot them just like this. Oops. Okay, I got to do it nice and even. Give me 1 second here. Okay, let me try that again. So I'm going to take 3 strands and try and knot them close to the edge of the body. If this doesn't work, then I might just trim them. But that's the beauty of this stitch. You don't have to. There we go. Just make a knot so that there won't be so many all over the place. So then go to the next 3 that are hanging here, just like this, and just repeat that. So just grab 3, get close to the edge, wrap around your finger, and then make a nice little knot with all 3 strands, and make a knot, and there you go. So that's how I'm going to end these, fix these both ends, and then I might just trim them a little bit so that they're all even, maybe not as long. And that's how we do this rug. So thank you so much for watching and doing this. If you do decide to do this pattern, I would love it if you would post some of your pictures on my Facebook group, Craving Crochet. I'll leave the link below. But I think it's pretty simple. So basically you're just making that border stitch in the beginning, which you're working underneath that first single crochet, make a single crochet and a chain, and then you just work through the back loops. So you're always doing it in patterns of 5, and then the 6th one you'll reach the one below, and that's how you know you have to do your next. That's another way of remembering that you have to do another double crochet. So it's very, very simple and basic. I really enjoyed doing this, and I love the way it looks. So I hope that you try it out, and that's my tutorial for today. Thank you so much for watching.